I've seen previous videos of this, and I think that part of it's embarrassing, the interviewee, right? Like that's the...
Oh, yeah, it's a little bit of a roast.
Yes. So my name is Eduardo Santillan-Jimenez, and I am a program manager here at the University of Kentucky Center for Applied Energy Research, as well as an adjunct assistant professor over at the UK Department of Chemistry. We take different forms of biomass, from lignocellulosic biomass, the type of material that makes up trees and plants, grasses, that type of stuff, from oil-based biomass, waste cooking oil, brown grease, all the way to algae and the components thereof. So we take all those different types of biomass, and we have developed the technology that is necessary to transform that starting material, if you will, into renewable fuels and chemicals. It does have potential to one day be scaled up by industry. So that has been definitely one of our points of honor, if you will. And right now, we're actually transitioning from renewable fuel for on-road vehicles to sustainable aviation fuel. And that it's a great opportunity, also a challenge because of the complexity of sustainable aviation fuel relative to, say, renewable diesel. The importance of sustainable aviation fuel is probably highlighted by the fact that although on-road vehicles are being electrified, that's much more difficult to achieve for aircraft. So industry is very likely going to also make that transition in the near future. It's actually already happening. I like to think that we focus on the transformation of biomass to fuels and chemicals, but also of students to STEM professionals. We actually teach a couple of classes thanks to the support of the National Science Foundation, which has granted UK its first research traineeship. One focuses on innovations at the nexus of food, energy, and water systems, so it's a little bit more technical in nature. But another class, which is actually being taught this semester, focuses on transferable skills for scientists and engineers to hopefully offer a holistic approach to the education and training of future STEM researchers. The fact that we have been able to start, for instance, all with National Science Foundation support from the undergraduate level, trying to broaden participation in engineering, and have managed to now launch a National Science Foundation research traineeship here at the University of Kentucky, and see that some students have actually gone from one project onto the other, undergraduates going into graduate school. That has been very satisfying. I am a firm believer in the developmental network approach to mentoring. It is very unlikely that a single person will be able to offer a mentee everything that he, she, they need in order to thrive. And so I'm an advocate for the establishment of a network with different folks with different expertise that can provide a mentee all the different skills, connections, everything they need in order to succeed and thrive. The students often struggle in graduate school or even in their undergraduate studies. There is imposter syndrome. There is just a feeling of being overwhelmed with everything that is just taking place, coursework and research and personal life. So whenever I see a student struggle, first I have to make sure that they not only understand but feel that they belong. The second thing that I try to convey is that those feelings are valid, definitely, but also very common. And lastly, I always think of this Jimmy Cliff song, you can get it if you really want, but you must try and try, you'll succeed at last. So that has helped me. I hope helps students that are struggling. I've been on the receiving end of great advisors and great mentors, and I always thought that if I could do for something else a fraction of what was done for me.
In the midst of the COVID 2020, when I gained admission, I reached out to Dr. Eduardo, and there is something about him being available which I really like. When you send him an email, he responds really swift. Yeah, and that's really encouraging for someone who is out of the country, who knows nothing about the university here in the US. So he was really willing to assist.
I would be, contributing to improving the lives of hopefully prospective researchers.
And can't talk about CARE and NRT without mentioning Eduardo. I don't think the program would be the same without him, just because yes, he does what's needed to get the program going, but he's just really easy to talk to and makes not only me but everyone else in the program really want to make the program succeed.
And so that was the main impetus behind getting started.
And also he even offered to give me a lift from the airport at Bluegrass, and I really enjoyed that. Like that offer, making that offer was really something for me. He's willing to help. He knows how to. He understands what you're going through. Really, he really understands what you're going through, and he knows how to cite an experience from his graduate days to really encourage you how to go through it.
As an undergraduate chemistry student in Mexico, I interned for a couple of summers here at the University of Kentucky in the lab of Dr. David Atwood. They invited me to apply for the PhD program. I did and was accepted. I started the program, and then an email was sent to chemistry and I think chemical engineering students from Professor Mark Crocker, who had a project and was looking for a student. I met with him, and he was kind enough to onboard me into his research group. That led to a PhD degree and eventually to a staff position here at CAR. It's a very collegial environment, and I am most appreciative of how researchers at CAR are not only allowed but encouraged to work on projects that fit both their interest as well as their skills. So that is a very nice framework to work in. Between hobbies, I would count like the usual stuff: travel, exercise, but there's also nerdier stuff like financial planning. It has turned into a hobby, and it's a profitable one, so far so good. I'm partial to Europe in general and France in particular, but lately Japan, Australia, Maui, they floated to the top of that list. I don't think it's a matter of like outlifting everyone, just Lamont. So that's my life goal, and for that matter, I may achieve it if he keeps on missing Jim. Is he going to watch this?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We'll make sure you watch that.
I do upside down pull-ups, but just to get off the bar after doing upside down crunches. That's how it works. I'm definitely not into sports. I only watch one televised contact sport, and that is U.S. national politics. Okay, I mentioned the UK Retirement Plan Oversight Committee. There is the Kentucky Distillers Association Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee.
There is the UK CAR Committee in charge of awarding the Reverend McAllister Employee Award. There is the Kentucky West Virginia List of Clients for Member Participation Bachelor Doctorate Advisory Board. There is Great Stephen Recke PhD Committee, Diane Torres Singer PhD Committee, Raymond Patton's PhD Committee, Evelyn Fiona PhD Committee, Seth Bradley's PhD Committee, Jose Barrios PhD Committee,
and UKCAR's Performance and Promotion Committee. I think that's it. Spanish, native language, paella valenciana. English, Hardee's cheeseburgers. And I also speak French, because I'm a French citizen and I should. Boeuf bourguignon. I'm very attached to this air horn. Back in the day where we had a full bullpen, grad students, Fridays, 3:30, 4, it used to be rowdy. So I'm in the office next door and I used to just blow it to get some quiet, and it turned into a little gag, you know. I think that eventually people started being loud on purpose just to get the air horn. And so every time that I look at this, I think of all of them. On another planet. It's kind of like morbid, but I'm thinking about like the possibility of dying in those two scenarios. And I think that I'd rather die not drowning. But what is it? What if it's like a lava world and then you burn? Texting. Driver. Card game, but as in Cards Against Humanity, not blackjack or poker. City. Book, but I now see the advantages of ebooks. I've changed countries several times, and every time that I do, I just leave like a bunch of books behind that I will never get back. So, yeah.